Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos and on this video this morning I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified his two priority targets for January, and his two priority targets are Erling Halland and Jadon Sancho. But I think analysing it according to recent reports, it's looking very imminent that Erling Haaland is going to be our first signing in January and our fourth signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think, we are confident, we can sign Erling Haaland for around £76 million in January, which is obviously now a substantial amount. But reportedly, we will be forced to loan Erling Haaland back to Red Bull Salzburg for the remainder of the season. That's what recent reports have said. More speculation has been fueled up as well because recently I think Erling Haaland has been pictured signing a Manchester United shirt, and I think he does want a transfer in 1 week. I think Ed Woodward and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer flew out to Austria not too long ago to have negotiations with Erling Haaland, regarding a January transfer. As you all know, last Friday, Solskjaer himself had flew to Austria to meet up with Erling Haaland. So yeah, and he has been on our agenda, for quite some time. Obviously, a lot of clubs have attracted their interest in the player. I think it was last week Erling Haaland had met with Borussia Dortmund's representatives. He also met with RP Leipzig's representatives. Also, Juventus have expressed their interest in the player. But yeah, he's been scouted by a number of clubs, reflecting on his good performances this season for Red Bull Salzburg. He has scored 28 goals in 22 games in all competitions, and he has been a revelation. But I think, it will be beneficial for Manchester United to recommend him in, Erling Haaland, because he's played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's guidance during his period with Mould, and Solskjaer, of course, is keen on a reunion with the player, and he's only the age of 19, so he has still got a lot of development in him, and of course Solskjaer, wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players into the football club like he did do during the summer, and we've got a lot of young players in the squad now at this present time. But I think, Erling Haaland, if he came to Manchester United, he would be able to assure his goals. He would be able, to create chances. And obviously, he would be another number 9 for us. So I think, he would be the right calibre player for Manchester United, definitely. It got revealed not too long ago that it actually said that he's got around the 17 million release clause in his Red Bull Salzburg contract as Erling Haaland. But yeah, so he has been subjected to a lot of speculation and that. So I think, we are going to sign him in January. Well, I'm hopeful, that we are going to sign him in January. And all that. But it said recently anywhere that, Solskjaer had revealed that, Erling Haaland has made a decision on his future. Don't forget Mini Raiola. He actually, instructed Erling Haaland not to join Manchester United. This is what, he did. But yeah, reportedly Erling Haaland's preferences moved to Man United anyway, because reports emerged out last week saying that he's told Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he does want to join the football club. But yeah, I will be very, very delighted, if we do recommend him in next year. It's not long now anyway until the January transfer window opens. It is only a couple of weeks. Like I said, anyway, we have got a lot of players on our agenda. Solskjaer did recently say that it's not guaranteed that we will make many signings in January, but for my overarching view on it, I think, we've got to be ruthless, obviously, in the next couple of windows. We've got to get the right calibre players to Manchester United, that can elevate us forward and get us back, to being a competitive elite level football club, and get us back up there, challenging for major honours. But I think, we need at least at least 5 to 6 more signings. We've got to address the deficiencies in the squad. We've got to get a couple of midfielders in. I think we need an attacking midfielder. We also need a defensive midfielder. We need to recruit a replacement for Ander Herrera. We also need to recruit a replacement for Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez in our attacking line. Because you can say for the vast majority of this season that we've looked very exposed in that attacking line following their departures. And there's possibly other areas in the squad as well that need to be addressed. I think Solskjaer's going to get a spending spree of around £250 million. That's a substantial amount. And I think £250 million, is enough, for us to bring the right number of players in. And there again, it's probably, dependent on how we are with our recruitment. We're going to be sensible with our recruitment. We're going to overpay for players, like we have done in recent years. But like I said, our board are determined to back Solskjaer in January and next summer, because I think the board realised anyway that they didn't back him enough during the course of the summer. And Solskjaer will be here in January. I presume Solskjaer, will be here at the end of the season, but I'm very, very sceptical, that he will see out his 3-year contract at the football club. Because obviously, analysing our bad performances and bad results for the vast majority of this season, Solskjaer's not accountable for all of that. Obviously he's accountable for some of it. I think certain players are to blame. I think also a lot of the blame stems from the board, and a lot of the blame stems from Ed Woodward. So everybody, has to take responsibility. But I think we need to see a variety of changes at the football club anywhere. We need a change of management. We need a change of board. I think it would be beneficial if we could recommend a director of football into the football club. I still believe there's more players that need to leave Manchester United next year as well. So we need to focus more on the outgoings rather than the ingoings. I think, we need to get rid of another 4 or 5 more players, because there is still problematic players at Manchester United, definitely. But yeah, so it wouldn't solve a lot of problems if we got rid of Solskjaer now. Anyway, we've got to keep the faith in him. Like the vast majority of our players are doing. Ed Woodward's still determined to back Solskjaer. Our board are backing Solskjaer, because he's still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire, they're the only 3 players that are his at the moment. You can arguably say, they've been our best signings this season. They've been our best players this season, sort of the 3 signings that we recommended in to the football club during the summer. And we spent nearly £150 million on them. So I credit Solskjaer in the aspects that I did recommend 3 good players to the squad during the summer. But like I've said to you, there's some aspects of me that credit Solskjaer. I've also got some element of concerns about him and that. But I feel as though, anyway, as you all know, that he isn't the right manager to elevate Manchester United forward. He hasn't got a style of play. Analysing the vast majority of the vast majority of the 12 months that Solskjaer has been here now, which is obviously a year, the brand of football has been atrocious. Prior to that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, he doesn't really have a plan B. Some of his substitutions are questionable, and for the vast majority of this season as well, we have been tactically naive. I know there's certain games where we've actually, showed tactical flexibility, and, I've credited Solskjaer in the games where I feel as though that he has got it right, but I've just got to say, I think the expectations are too high for him at Manchester United, despite the fact that he knows the football club really, really well. But for me, just doesn't have any intuition on how to manage, because he hasn't really got a pedigree behind him, in terms of management and that. But I thought he was a good player, but I think his comparison as a manager, to as he was as a player. But yeah, and, there's obviously other players on our agenda as well who we could go in for rather than Erling Halland, and that's Jadon Sancho. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of transfer speculation regarding Jadon Sancho. He has been on our agenda, for a while. We was in for him during the summer. We also went in for Jadon Sancho back in January. We actually identified him as our number one priority target back in January in that. But obviously, with our failure to qualify for the Champions League, obviously, where we didn't get Jadon Sancho. And this is why I did say the league's a priority for us this season. And I said, we need to get that top four this season. So obviously we can get Champions League football secured for next season. So because when you're in Champions League football, you've got obviously you've got a better chance of attracting players to the elite level. You've also got to say the Europa League is a priority for us. We obviously won Group L. We're obviously now anywhere into the knockout stages of the competition. But I think, honestly to God, we have got a great chance of winning the Europa League. We did it a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho era. And, I still think winning the top four race, definitely. I know I fully disregarded it not too long ago because at one point it looked very, very unlikely that we was going to get it. So I was sceptical about the whole thing, but I think now we're still in it, despite the fact that we dropped 2 points against Everton at the weekend. We're still only 4 points behind Chelsea. If we'd have beaten Everton, it would have only been 2 points. But I definitely want us to get into that top four. But yeah, I think Jadon Sancho, like I said, definitely would be the right calibre player for the football club. He's primarily a right winner. You can also play him centrally. Jadon Sancho at this present time is enduring a very, very difficult time with Borussia Dortmund. So he's not satisfied. He's been dropped in games this season for Dortmund. This is now his third season in Germany, but I think he's endured 2 good seasons with Borussia Dortmund. He's been a revelation since his arrival in Germany back in 2017. Borussia Dortmund, of course, got Jadon Sancho from Man City. Obviously he served a couple of years there with Man City, Jadon Sancho, but obviously, never got assured first team opportunity. So this is the main factor reason why I left Man City to join Borussia Dortmund and that. But Borussia Dortmund got him for next to nothing, and analysed his performances in the couple of years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. I think he's still under contract with Dortmund until 2022. He's only the age of 19, but it isn't only us that are in for him. City have been in for him. City are looking to reunite with a player. They're looking to get him back in. Liverpool have expressed their interest. Chelsea have been in for Jadon Sancho, but I think Borussia Dortmund have had their overarching view on the speculation regarding Sancho, and they're determined to keep Sancho for at least this season. So it's probably well, I thought at first it was more imminent that we'd get Sancho in the summer, rather than January, if we was to get him at all. But yeah, I definitely love him at Manchester United, because I would be excited about the prospect of him, playing alongside the likes of Rashford, Daniel James, Anthony Martial. He complement them, really, really well. And he's obviously, played in the Premier League before, so I think he'll, replicate the performances in the Premier League, what he has been doing with Borussia Dortmund. So just want to confirm that Erling Halland and Jadon Sancho are our 2 priorities, for January. So hopefully, we can sign both of them in January. And Jadon Sancho, he's going to cost us a substantial amount. I do believe, we're going to have to pay in the excess of around £100 million to get him into the football club. But we have obviously, got that financial power to meet that valuation anyway. And, a hell of a lot of money's been spent at Manchester United anywhere, in the last 6 or 7 years. Just wanted to take that into account. I think around 700 odd million pounds has been spent in all the managerial eras since the Ferguson era, and that's not taking into account what was spent under Alex Ferguson. So not only a lot of money's been invested into the club, obviously we've now got players on big contracts, and look up the amount of money we've paid for players in recent years. Harry Maguire 70 million. 10 million add-ons, which did rise it to £80 million. Harry Maguire is the most expensive defender in the world. He's the second most expensive sign at the club. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't with the substantial amount we paid for him, but it was the only way we was going to convince Leicester to sell him. But I'm glad Harry Maguire's here because he settled in well. you've got to say he's addressed our defensive deficiencies, and he's helped Victor Lindelof well in our back line. And I've got to say, Lindelof and him have complemented each other fantastically well in our backline. I know Lindelof's been struggling recently, but I think prior to that, Lindelof has enjoyed a good career with Man United and prior to his first season. But Harry Maguire is still on that list as he's still in the top five of one of the best defenders in the world. He's totally comparison to the likes of Van Dijk and Laporte, but still a very very good centre half. We obviously paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, again overpaid for him. But we're going to make a profit on him because I'm very, very adamant that he will leave next year. He may not leave in January, but I think he'll probably leave in the summer. If he doesn't leave next year at all, then I think he'll still leave in the future anyway. If he doesn't leave next year, I agree that we overpaid for Fred. Obviously, we paid around £50 million for Fred last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk. Fred's done really, really well recently. You've got to say he has rejuvenated himself. I know, analysing Fred at Man United at the moment, he hasn't really replicated at Man United what he produced at Shakhtar Donetsk, but I think we have got to give him more time at the football club. But I've got to say, I've got to be honest, I think him and McTominay have blended very, very well together in our midfield. I've got to say Fred has fulfilled Paul Pogba's position fantastically well. I don't know if Fred and McTominay are the long-term solutions for Man United, but I think if they can keep this good run of form up. Just doing some of their music. Sorry about that. So hopefully they keep this good with form up, and maybe they can emulate into two Glasgow midfielders. Can both players, but we have got a lot of midfielders in our team. But like I've said on my recent videos, overall anyway, always spending big on players and getting them Glasgow players does not always guarantee you success. So just be aware of that. You saw my preview. You saw my preview I did yesterday for the Manchester United Colchester game, which is tonight in the Carabao Cup quarter final. Obviously, on paper, we should be winning that game easy, but Colchester have been a revelation themselves in the competition. They've done well to progress to the last eight. Obviously in the previous rounds, they've beaten Palace, Tottenham, so they've knocked two Premier League teams out. They also, I think the other teams they beaten was it Crawley and Swindon. So you've got to say they've done well. They are League Two. They are sitting ninth in League Two, Colchester. But I'm very, very, I'm not fully confident, but I've got some confidence in me that we will progress to the semi-finals of the competition. I believe that Solskjaer, like I said, will obviously make a variety of changes in this game. For the 1-1 draw against Everton on Sunday. He will go with a lot of the youngsters. Because he sees like the EFL Cup and the Europa League is more of a chance, to give youngsters more experience. I give you obviously, my predicted 11 yesterday for the game. I think, Romero will be in goal tonight. You've got Brandon Williams will be at left back. I think Solskjaer now views Brandon Williams as his first choice left back anywhere. Reflecting on his good performances. I know Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a number of years, but obviously now Brandon Williams has come onto the equation, and with his consistency in that, I said, he would be our first choice left back and that, but he's done really, really well, only at the age of 19, and I do believe at right back, it'll either be who'll play at right back, probably be Young, or it will be Diego Dalot, providing he's fully fit. But we've got a variety of fullbacks anywhere in the team that can be competitive, like Solskjaer recently mentioned. I think centre-back partnership will be Phil Jones and Tuanzebe. I presume we'll go with a midfield of Matic and James Garner. Matic, of course, is no longer first choice in the Premier League. It's totally comparison to last season, because Matic, was our number one. Our first choice last season, but due to his inconsistency, he's been dropped from the team. But Matic has obviously, been out of injury for a couple of months anyway. He was out of a groin problem. Just recently recovered from a groin problem. Did play in the 4-0 win against AZ Alkmaar, did Matic. But he was out of injury for quite a long time. But these are the type of games where he will get his opportunities, will Matic. But I think his appearances in the Premier League, are totally limited. But yeah, he'll play alongside James Garner in that midfield. I think Chon will be involved in this game. Probably he'll start the game, to be fair. I think maybe Pereira will play. I think, he's got to step up to the plate as Andres Pereira. I probably believe that Juan Mata will operate in that number 10. And I think Mason Greenwood will play up top on his own with just Juan Mata behind him. That's what I do believe in. I think Solskjaer needs to start playing Mason Greenwood. He needs to play more on a regular basis in that, because for me, he isn't getting enough starts. He's made a lot of substitute appearances this season. These are the type of games Mason Greenwood will start as well. He's in scintillating form. Mason Greenwood scored 7 goals for the football club this season in all competitions. The vast majority of his 7 goals have come in the Europa League. 4 goals have come in the Europa League. 2 of his goals have come in the league, and 1 of his goals came in the League Cup. And Solskjaer recently admitted that it's becoming impossible to drop Mason Greenwood. But, I think, at this present time, I probably would choose him over Anthony Martial. I think him, playing alongside Rashford, I think, is a very, very good idea in that, because I think they complement each other well anywhere. I think as time goes on, as Mason Greenwood develops more, he'll probably overtake Rashford. Maybe will even overtake Anthony Martial, because he's only at the age of 18, and Greenwood's replicating this season what he did with the reserves last season. But I've got to say, very, very good player. But yeah, I think we definitely know we're going to win tonight. And he's obviously going to rest key players anyway, Solskjaer, because obviously, Watford is on the horizon. I think the Watford game is on Sunday, on the 22nd. But games are coming up thick and fast for us. Colchester tonight, Watford on Sunday, Newcastle on Boxing Day. 2 days after we go to Burnley away, I think it is. Then it's Arsenal on New Year's Day. Then it's Wolves in the FA Cup. So games are coming up thick and fast for us. Obviously, Solskjaer provided us with some news during his press conference, for the Man United Colchester game. He gave us some news regarding Paul Pogba and Diego Dalot. We know that Paul Pogba, of course, isn't going to be playing tonight against Colchester, because as BBC Sport and that they revealed yesterday that Paul Pogba is now ill, and he hasn't trained for the last 2 days, due to this illness. I don't know how severe this illness is yet. I think this is days after he attended his brother's wedding, which was obviously not on Friday. He just actually recovered from his initial ankle injury that he had, because he was out with an ankle injury for 3 months. But overall, he hasn't been in action since September as Pogba. The last league game he played was the 1-1 draw with Arsenal. It did say that Pogba was expected to be, training. He was expected to be back in training this week, like Solskjaer recently confirmed. But obviously now we know that's not the case. But Solskjaer did say when Pogba does regain full fitness, when he regains full fitness, he will get loads of games under his belt, because he has missed the vast majority of our games this season due to this injury and that. But he says he's hopeful that Pogba will be back by the end of the year. So hopefully Pogba, will be available for the game against Watford on the 22nd, or will be back for the game against Newcastle. And Pogba, of course, has still got around 18 months left on his contract at Man United. He's obviously, under the contract, under contract with the club until 2021. We've also got an option to extend his contract by a further year. He's on a substantial amount of the club as well. He's on 290 grand a week. We paid £89 million to him, so he's our most expensive signing. And analysing the vast majority of his Man United career, he's been mainly inconsistent, in comparison to his time, when he was at Juventus, because I thought he enjoyed 4 good years in training with Juventus. I think we mainly saw the best of Paul Pogba as a Manchester United player in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. Pogba in total for Man United has made 148 appearances. I think it's 148 appearances and scored 31 goals in all competitions. I think it's something like that anywhere for the football club. Yeah, but so he's out with illness. That's obviously very, very disappointing news. We reportedly said as well, we're not allowing him to leave for Real Madrid in January. Because we don't want him to leave really, because Solskjaer knows deep down how much imperative player and that Paul Pogba is, and we do know the difference he still makes in that midfield. But he was relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid for the entirety of the summer transfer window. But the valuation basically put Real Madrid off, because we wanted in the excess of around £150 million. Real Madrid, of course, were reluctant to pay it. Obviously, Diego Dalot, Solskjaer says maybe he will be playing tonight. We don't know. If he's fully fit, I think he will definitely be involved. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Diego Dalot has actually sustained quite a few injuries this season. This is why he hasn't really been in action much. Bailly... Bailly and Fosu-Mensah, I think, are in training this week. Solskjaer did say they would be training this week, and that Bailly's been out of an injury. He hasn't played since pre-season. Fosu-Mensah's obviously been out with an injury and that. So it is good news, that more players are coming back from injury. But reflecting on the amount of injuries we've had this season anyway, Solskjaer has made a lot of alterations in the squad. And, like I said, he's tried a few different elements. He's obviously, gone with a few different formations. We know on a regular basis this season, Solskjaer's mainly gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation. As you all know, he has mainly gone with that. But a couple of times he's gone with like 3 at the back. He went with 3 at the back against Liverpool. He went with 3 at the back against Sheffield United and that, and Partizan Belgrade. He's on the odd occasion I think he's gone with a 4-3-3, but we mainly do go with that 4-2-3-1 formation. As you all know, but reflecting back before the Tottenham game, as you all know, Solskjaer was under intense pressure at the football club, but analysed it for the vast majority of this season anyway, Solskjaer has been under intense pressure at the club, because we have enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for around 30 years. But I've got to say, the wins against Tottenham and Man City, they've arguably saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the football club, because if we hadn't have won many of them games, I think Solskjaer would have been sacked by now. And obviously, at this day and age, how ruthless, the boards are and that, because managers have been getting sacked left, right and centre. Carlo Ancelotti got sacked from Napoli last Tuesday. As you all know, he's going to become Everton's new manager. It should be announced that on Thursday or Friday. Sanchez Flores got sacked from Watford. Pochettino got sacked from Tottenham. Ray got sacked from Arsenal, and I think Solskjaer could be the favourite to be the next manager sacked. Probably won't happen, but that's what could happen. Believe it or not. But managers are getting sacked left, right, and centre, but. I definitely don't think he will succeed at the football club, but we did build some momentum in that. We're beating Tottenham, we're beating City. Then we topped it off with a good win against AZ Alkmaar. So we won 3 games in a row in all competitions. If we'd have beaten Everton, that would have been our third. That would have been our third win on the trot in the Premier League. This season it was disappointing that we didn't beat Everton, because I went into that game with a lot of confidence. There was no excuse, why we didn't win the game. I thought we was unlucky, with the own goal and that, but we should have beaten Everton, because Everton have enjoyed a difficult start to the season, and I know they've obviously got Duncan Ferguson in, like I said, on an interim basis at the moment until they get Ancelotti in and that. Duncan Ferguson, you can say, has done well as manager of Everton on an interim basis, but he obviously isn't keen on taking the job on a permanent basis. But definitely Everton would have been happier of the two teams. But like I've said on recent videos, I've got to say we have had some good results this season. Because we've done well against elite opposition. We've beaten Chelsea 4-0 at the beginning of the season. We're beating Leicester 1-0. We drew with Liverpool 1-1. We're unlucky not to win that. We're the only team this season to take any points from Liverpool. We've beaten, City. We've beaten Tottenham. So we need to start replicating this against lower opposition. And to be fair, we did do that against AZ Alkmaar. But for me, we've drawn too many games this season. We've drawn 7 games. Some of them draws, we should have definitely won. We should have beaten Villa at home. We should have beaten Everton. We should have beaten Southampton. We should have beaten Wolves. You can say also we should have beaten Sheffield United. In that particular game, we was on course of winning our first game this season, from a losing position. So I've got to credit us in that game, even though we didn't play that well, that we showed a good determination to get back into the game. I thought we had a good 10-minute spell against Sheffield United. But yes, but we have drawn too many games this season. Like I said, a good couple of results doesn't change my perception regarding Solskjaer. He's the right manager for Manchester United. And if we was to win the Carabao Cup this season, or even win the Europa League, or even finish in the top 4, maybe that would help us restore winning mentality to the football club. I definitely think this would be right, if we were to win the Carabao Cup or the Europa League and that, because I think not only top 4 is a priority for us this season, I think also us winning some silverware is a priority, because we've lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. I know we won 2 trophies under Jose Mourinho. We won the Europa League and the Carabao Cup in his first season, by the way, at the football club, Jose Mourinho. We also won the Community Shield. Jose Mourinho enjoyed a 2.5-year tenure at the football club. So he's actually the longest serving manager we've had since the Alex Ferguson era. And some Man United fans will say it was a mistake from us, getting rid of Jose Mourinho. But it's now been made official that Solskjaer has a worse record than Jose Mourinho. But they are both a comparison anywhere. Obviously Mourinho's a very good manager. He's got a good pedigree behind him. Solskjaer, obviously hasn't. We won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. We won silverware under him. He lasted just over a year. Obviously, we didn't win anything under David Moyes. But yeah, like I said, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. And, like I said, we're not really known for a sacking football club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. But I'm very sceptical, that Solskjaer or any other manager, can invoke Ferguson's legacy at the football club. I don't think we'll ever be the team that we was under Ferguson. I think recently Alex Ferguson was discussing about his legacy at Man United and that, and no one will ever follow that legacy. I've got to be honest with you. Even if we was to give Solskjaer another 3 or 4 year, I still don't think he'd emulate into Alex Ferguson. Maybe some people believe he can, but I don't see that happening. But the vast majority of our silverware we won came under the Ferguson era anywhere, because Ferguson endured around 26, 27 years in Man United. I think we won a total of 38 major honours under Alex Ferguson. Ferguson obviously developed a lot of young players. He controlled a lot of the transfer policies. He controlled a lot of the contracts and that. And there's actually still some players here now from the Alex Ferguson era I wanted to take into account, But the vast majority of these players now are Jose Mourinho's, because Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Solskjaer now is still inheriting the vast majority of them, I obviously give you the news yesterday as well, didn't I, regarding Ashley Young. We're set to release Ashley Young at the end of this season when his contract does expire. Don't forget, we give Young a new 1-year extension last season. That's something, Manchester United shouldn't have done. Young, of course, has been a long-serving player at the football club. He's now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player. He's enjoyed 8 seasons at the football club. And Young has obviously, lost his place in the team now anywhere. Because obviously, Anwan Bissaka has established himself as our first choice right back, So, and obviously there's quite a few other fullbacks we've got in the team. So Young has lost his place in the team. Young in total for Man United has made 258 appearances in all competitions and scored 19 goals. I've got to say anyway, I think Young has passed his sell-by date at the football club. He is now 34 years of age. He's 35 next year. So, yeah, it would be beneficial if we did get rid of him, because there hasn't been any negotiations with Man United and Ashley Young over the possibility of him signing a new deal. Young, of course, when he was younger, was predominantly a winger, but obviously, as he developed more, he transformed into a formidable fullback. So he's predominantly a right back, but can play as a winger, can play on each flank. He's also played as a left back quite a few times. But I've got to say, Young is definitely, one of the problematic players. So, I think we are going to move him on at the end of this season. So that's the latest news on that, Gotta say though, definitely one of the mistakes that we did make was giving Solskjaer the job. We shouldn't ever give him the job, but I think we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years. I've got to be honest with you. I think there's some players that we recommended we shouldn't have got rid of. Ferguson made one mistake, and that was obviously recommending David Moyes in. The explanation for that is because they're both Scottish. I think we made a mistake not getting a director of football to the club during the summer. I think we also made a mistake getting rid of Ander Herrera in the summer. We let his contract run down, so we let him go on a free transfer, so we didn't generate anything from his departure. So the club have made a lot of mistakes, definitely. But I think Solskjaer's job's still safe anywhere. Joe Glazer recently confirmed that, because Solskjaer had held face-to-face talks with Joe Glazer, and he said his job's safe. Ed Woodward has assured his job is safe, but yeah, and obviously there's been a few managers on our agenda who could replace him. You've had Pochettino on our agenda for a long time. There was speculation about Massimiliano Allegri. But yeah, we'll keep Solskjaer for now. So I'm very, very sceptical that we will sack him at this present time. But like I said, we've got big ambitions for the future and that, and hopefully, we can, we can, meet these ambitions, hopefully. Yeah. So the main part of this video was to give you the latest news regarding Erling, Halland and Jadon Sancho and all the rest of the other news. There will be more videos coming up today, guys. Like I said, drop your comments, likes on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.